years. And this is my senior exhibition to show you my accomplishments from the past 4 years. Starting with my personal statement. My personal statement it doesn't really define what I want to be just yet, because I wanted it to define what I have done in the past 4 years. It really focuses on what I have done, breaking out of my nutshell here from, freshman year. I was a really small, tiny freshman, didn't want to talk to anyone, and then joining a group and that having impacted my life to so much as to me being, current president for our student advisory board, and doing a lot of community service, going up to crowds, speaking to them, kind of really representing METSA and what it really is. METSA has prepared me to be, flexible with what I want to do. I know that no matter what challenges are sent my way, I always think critically around them, try to overcome what is really asked of me. Right. This is my resume. Resume focuses on my work experience, which I did it over here at Wright Group Architects. I was an intern there for the fall semester of my senior year. Mostly it focuses on my volunteer experience. I really do like to involve myself within the community, show them what my real potential is. My extracurricular activities, such as advisory board, National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, being involved in my temple, the DFW Hindu Temple over here in Irving. If we go below, you will see a link to my resume, which you can download, and also my extracurricular activities, which, like I said, really focus on my resume and what I've done. So being involved with the tennis team for the past 3 years, doing varsity for 2 years, and then junior varsity freshman year. And pictures. My capstone project which we were required to do our senior year. Capstone project is something that you use your skills that you've learned here in the past 3 years, and you really use it to give back to the community. And the one I did with my partner, Mijin Park, we were partnered up with Miss Ellen Goldberg from Kinwest Montessori Academy over there in Irving. My mentor was Mr. Ever Blanco from LC Custom Cabinets. And what we did was we created a puppet theater for the Montessori Academy for the little kids. I knew that I wanted to do something with the little kids to kind of give them, a chance to look up to someone and see that, older kids do care, and this is what, they're giving back to the community. So my puppet theater really focused on trying to not just have like a box or, a story time not be that involved. The puppet theater had a window, had, it was portable, it was really attractive to the eye. And if you scroll down, you'll see my process as to what I did. I learned how to use a drill, which was very critical. And pictures, they'll expand. And here we are presenting our final product. The little girl that was still there, she loved it. She absolutely loved it. She asked her teacher to go bring out a puppet so she could play with it right then and there. So I think we should ask Elise if she likes it. And down here I have links to my project charter and my Gantt chart. Really the process of what led me up to my final product of presenting my capstone. During my fall semester, I also did my internship at Wright Group Architects in downtown Carrollton. It was a new experience, really, because I wasn't used to working with older people that know what they're doing. Really, I mean, I wouldn't want to say that, but really, like in a field, so like our teachers, right, they teach everything, but then the adults I was working with, they have, one job, and they have a certain task given to them. So that was something new. I was used to seeing, everyone trying to be flexible around all the tasks given to them, but to see, real life jobs that, you have to finish your task before you can go on to finishing others. That was a new experience for me. And especially the showcase project I did there, where I was working with a design intern there to do, she was an intern there as well, and I really helped her with a project she was given, working for Leslie's Pool Supplies. Wright Group is in charge of doing that for the Dallas Metroplex. And so yeah, I worked on that. I worked on flat files, the permit documents for Leslie's and Founders Academy interiors, which was a new experience because that also made me realize I want to do a minor in interior designing. If not right off the bat, then at least once I get, my bachelor's, and if I have, time before doing my master's, I do want to do a minor in interior design. This link will get you to my showcase presentation, which we can see if we have time. The learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are kind of, I guess, parameters that METSA has to kind of lead you towards your goal at your senior year. You use them all your 4 years. So collaboration, communication, critical thinking, curricular literacy, and information or technology literacy. These outcomes, actually, you have to master them sometime, in your 4 years here at METSA. So collaboration, you have to be able, or collaboration and communication, you have to be able to, communicate with your group members. You cannot do the work by yourself because it's just not going to work out. And I learned that very early on in freshman year when my group members weren't working and I had to really step down. And critical thinking, how well can you solve a problem? And then curricular literacy, how well do you know your content? The content really, here at METSA, I've always said it's the best of both worlds. We're learning the content as well as, presentation skills and, work ethic, self-direction, and all that. Information and technology literacy. Since METSA is a technology-based academy, how well do you know your technology? Starting from, sorry, it is really hot in here. Starting from freshman year, learning how to use the AutoCAD system, which is Inventor, to junior year last year when we had to use Revit, and we had never used Revit before. And I actually liked that. So. And then this year when we had to use all that in my capstone project, I actually did, a little model of it on, Inventor. I have used many forms of presentations to, finally, present my proposals and all that, like Prezi and PowerPoint and Slide Rocket and all these things. And especially the biggest one, self-direction. What is your work ethic? How well how good are you at, turning in your stuff? Do you know that, do you know your time management and all that? So, actually, we'll go here. My personal work, this is all, linked to my, to the learning outcomes. So this is actually an example of, curricular literacy from civil engineering and architecture. I know I want to do architecture and architectural engineering, so that's why I took that engineering class junior year. And this is a really faint drawing of an assignment we had in civil engineering. This is a small picture from freshman year, actually. What we designed, it was from a project that we did in IED, and we had to use AutoCAD for that. So I did a part of the motorboat, I think it was a blade for the Odyssey project, when we had to make the boat that would fly over the little monster, or not little, but the big monster's mouths. Next, I have videos of videos that I've made or I've actually been in for various classes. So the critical thinking video, it's a video I did for AP English last year, which is kind of weird because in AP English you're kind of reading and you're not really doing much of project work. But even then, we had to think around it. We did a video which focuses on two books that we had to compare and contrast. Collaboration and communication. The video is from last year's All Schools project, where we were really asked to focus on the problems, in like the world. What my group did was the biodiversity and how is it being impacted in the world. And we were actually one of the top 10 teams to make it onto the big stage, and we were really proud of that. So that's communication. I had 2 juniors, 1 sophomore, and 1 freshman in my group, and really to have different levels of different grade levels in one group, you really have to step out of that and really work with them. Information literacy, the video you see, it's actually not a METSA class video. I did it for my sports and entertainment marketing class, and Jawad's in that class, and I can put it on the table right now. We METSA kids in that class go above and beyond to make sure that we show our skills in a non-METSA class. We do videos, we do presentations, and it's just the look of other students' faces that when they see our presentations, it's amazing, because we know that we are trained to a level where regular, traditional high school classes just aren't, doing that. And that's actually one of my favorite parts, is that when I go to a regular class and I'm like, I can present, I'm not nervous, my project is amazing. So yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. And I brag a lot. Next, my destination, what METSA has prepared, for obviously college. So I did apply to 3 colleges. I applied to UT Austin, A&M, and UT Arlington. And I know I have big A&M fans in here. Yeah, I can go. Woo, I have nothing against A&M. Don't kill me or anything. But my major, I actually did want to go to UT Austin because they are the only university in Texas that offers architectural engineering, the career I want to pursue. Unfortunately, I was capped from UT Austin, but no biggie. I did accept to go to UT Arlington into their School of Architecture. I don't know if I want to do a year there or 2, but I know sometime in the near future I will attend UT Austin to get my degree in architectural engineering. And from there, I don't know if I want to get my master's in civil or continue into architectural. But as of right now, I am going to UT Arlington, so I'm excited. These are my college essays and college comparison essays, really comparing these 3 in general. My career comparison essay kind of focused on being a civil engineer as opposed to being an architect, not an architectural engineer. And that being, I don't know if I wanted to be an architectural engineer right at the time I was deciding to apply to colleges. And I'm sorry. And I guess she got bored. And so really, I really know that architecture is it's more of a it's more creatively based. Architectural engineering is more structural and mathematical based, something I'm good at. Not really the creative draw a building type. I want to focus on the technical side of architecture, and that's why I'm doing architectural engineering. So. Alright, so this is my contact me page. This is linked to my personal email and my METSA email. Do we get to pick stay with our METSA emails after?
It stays with you.
It stays, alright, so that's good. But yeah, this is really something I want to start giving my portfolio to like the job applications and all that, because if you type it into Google, Nevada Modha digital portfolio, it does show up, which is pretty cool. And I plan to stick with this portfolio. So that concluding my exhibition. Do you guys have any questions? Please. 1, 2, maybe.
Yeah, I just want to know who your favorite teacher is. Great.
That's already been a
Oh God. Oh God. Please don't put me in the spot. I was just like, no, can't do that. And I asked my parents, I could never pick a favorite. They ask me that all the time.
Between the two of them, and you can't say which one. Yeah.
I really can't. I'm too nice all around.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll tell you tomorrow when there's no one else here.
If you had to think back in the past 4 years, think of a moment that you really had to persevere, like you were so stuck that you were ready to give up. Walk us through that scenario.
Okay. All right. There's actually 2.
Okay.
First one was sophomore year in WIP class, the World History and Perspective Humanities class, and it was the first project of the year. I was not used to being back yet and having a project given to us, and it was the River Valley Civilization project where we had to come up with a video to kind of portray the civilization we had gotten, and I got Mesopotamia. And my group members, I remember they didn't do anything. And my parents know this. I was up till 3 in the morning finishing that video. And I didn't know how to work that software. I picked a software where, I don't even remember what it was. I picked a software where I did not know how to work it. And I was just but I was so determined to get this thing done. And it was 3 in the morning. I was dead tired. I had nothing. I had this title slide for that video, and it was due in like 6 hours. And I was just like, that's it, I'm done. I'm just not going to turn it in. I'll take a day late. Oh well. And then I thought to myself, well, it's 3 in the morning. I mean, I didn't stay up all night not to finish. And then really, when that hit me, I was like, okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to go and I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to write down what I really want. And then I'm going to YouTube these tutorials. And I watched that tutorial for like 20 minutes, and I was like, okay, I got this. And I started working at it, and then I finished it, and it was like 4:30 in the morning. My mom walks into the room, and she's like, oh, go to sleep. Like, you have school in 2 hours. And I was like, no, I finished it. And when I said that, that was really that moment, and I was like, okay, yes, I can do this. I've been taught to critically think over and finish what has been given to me. And the second time was for Ms. Hammond's class for chemistry. When was this? Okay, so I don't remember what project it was, but we were supposed to turn in a little booklet with our project, and I have a really bad habit of this, and my dad gets mad at me every time. And I don't save my work as I'm doing it. Like, it was on Word. It was on Word, and I was just working at it, almost done. I hit print, but my computer didn't get to my printer or something, and I walked back, and I accidentally clicked exit, and I hadn't saved it, and all my work was lost. It was 11 at night. I was dead tired. It was like after a tennis tournament. And I was like, okay, that's it. Once again, I was like, you know what, I'll take a day late, whatever. It's Miss Hammond, I'll talk to her. I'm kidding. Don't hate me. But, no, it was, and then I knew that Miss Hammond had this confidence in me, and out of the class, I worked hard. Because I knew I had to be up to par, because then Miss Hammond really pushes me. And I was like, no, I can't let her down. And so I stayed up, and I finished it. And I think it was the Ugly Doll project, actually, and she ended up loving it. I'm sorry, I'm boring. Yeah, so that's one other thing. I don't like to. I think I can give up, but then I don't know. Some alter ego comes on, and just like, no, you can finish this, and I do.
Thank you for sharing.
Nikki, you mentioned in your presentation that your freshman year was when you had to overcome the learning outcome of collaboration. and I know that a lot of our freshmen are struggling with that right now. So what would you tell the freshmen on how to improve that skill or how to push their peer members?
What broke me out of my shell was Miss Sanders, or Miss Abusad. She's not here anymore, but I stayed after school one day and I was working on a project, and she came up to me and she said, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "Really, the first 2-3 weeks you came into METSA, you were this little bubbly girl, and you didn't talk to anyone, but you were still friendly with all the teachers, and then about a month later, you just died inside because and then I told her, it's the amount of work. You really have to break out of your shell." And I asked her, I was like, "I don't know anyone here. I came to this school knowing one person, and that was Meejin Park. I came here knowing her. Well, actually two, Unsini, but we weren't friends, but okay. And so I knew one person, and she wasn't in any of my classes, 0 classes. So I had a tough time talking to other people. But what I did to talk to them was, I just went up to them and talked, but it's that confidence factor. You have to do that. Be personal with them. I guess what Miss Abusad did was a kind of a personal attachment thing. And if you really just kind of go up to a student and say, "Hey, I'm here for you," that could change worlds for the student. So with a team member, just have like one person that kind of goes and talks to the member and says, "Hey, I know you're struggling. Just calm down, relax about it, meditate." I don't know, meditate.
Anybody else?
I like questions. More questions. I know Cindy's trying to come up with a question.
I know. I can't.
If you had to say one thing to your teachers, and now I want you to think about all your teachers, not just one or two. What advice do you have for them to reach all levels of kids?
All levels,
Even the ones that...
Yeah. One thing to say to the teachers. I guess, once again, just let the student know you're there for them. I mean, and whether it's like a family issue, issue with in a relationship, it's a academic issue. Every student always needs that one teacher to be there. Mm-hmm. And I have my teachers that will always be there for me regardless of whatever it is I can go talk to. But really, when peers are there, it's a different story, and then when there's that one adult is there, it's different. So it doesn't matter if the student doesn't pick you, but you should, the teacher should know that, they should be there for all students, regardless of, if they're good at academics, if they're good at athletics, doesn't matter. I mean, just try to be that person that's always there for them. And that really changes the student. I've seen that.
Anything else? Thank you so much.